I'm working on the front cockpit ceilings. And so what I did is I put one support piece here, you can see just in front of that frame. And then I also put one in front of this one. The reason I did in front of this one, this is a straight piece, whereas that frame member is curved, and I started thinking about putting some kind of wedge in there to screw it right to that, and I decided not to. I decided to do this also because I want support down below where it would have been supported right there. And so, and you can see on this side, this actually is that's the rear cockpit ceiling, and so the front cockpit ceiling actually is going to be sticking out. Now remember, the engine will be here. There's going to be just I don't know, 8 inches to foot wide decking here. So this is like a transition front cockpit to rear. Remember the seat over here, so you won't notice that difference. And the reason I brought this out is, and I'll talk about that in the next video, I'll show you what that looks like, is because I want the ceilings to actually be parallel to the stringer for this. That helps me solve some other problems with the front seat, and I'll talk about that in the next video. So that's the supporting members behind the ceiling. And I started, actually, I was going to put a strip across here and to provide some support so it wouldn't flex, but I decided not to do that because I don't want any screws showing. Like I mentioned in the next video, I want the ceiling to be removable, and I didn't want vibration. So I actually had that piece all made, and I decided to take it out. But I also have one support piece up here. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do support the ceiling. So in the next video, I'll show what it looks like installed. Actually, I can show the starboard side because it's in, so you can see what it looks like that. And I just, like I talk about in the next video, I just have 2 temporary screws for now. So that's what it looks like so far. And I'll show here next what it looks like with the, I'll show next with the port side installed, and then I'll show what it looks like with the seat installed, or at least temporarily installed. So this is what it looks like with the ceiling installed. I just have 2 screws, one there and there, to temporarily hold it. Remember, this is going to get layers of essentially planking like I did on the outside, but they'll be spaced. There'll be gaps in between them, like the decking. That's my plan right now. And so those will get laminated on there. And so I will not, my intent is, I'm not going to screw this permanently to the boat and then attach those pretty pieces of wood because I want to make the ceiling removable. And so it'll all be kind of one piece, and then there'll be rows of screws that show with the final installation. And so I just use these screws right now to show what it looks like. So that's what it looks like. And one thing that I did is I made this part from here up flat, basically parallel to the motor stringer. That way my seat back, I'll be able to fold that down with hinges like I did in the rear, and the side of the seat, the side of this part that folds down, I mean, it won't contact anything, because if it was too curved, then it wouldn't be able to fold down. And so that's how I'm doing that. And also the seat bottoms then will be able to be a 90-degree angle to the back or the front. And so I like that setup, or at least I think I do, better. So there's what it looks like so far. So here I've got both ceilings temporarily tacked up and the seat sitting in there, at least the bottom part of the seat. So, and like I mentioned, the part from here, roughly from there back, is parallel to the stringer. That way the seat then can be, and so that will help when I make the seat bottoms and the seat back, so it'll allow it to fold down. So now I can start working on the seat back. I thought I'd show an angle from back here real quick, showing how the transition of the different ceilings. And again, you won't notice that in the boat because of the transition from the rear cockpit to the front. But that also, like I said, it solves problems with the front seat. And then it gives me, having this be set back a little bit, gives me more room because I'm going to have two little buddy seats on either side of the engine. So having that recessed back a little bit helps with that. And I may adjust these rear ceilings once I get to that point here. I might change where these end up. But so that's what it's looking like for the front cockpit area.